There we go. Hi guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? Mav, you want to say hi? We have a co-host, Maverick. I don't know how long he'll be interested, but you know, here he is. We just got up. Sorry for the rough voice, and freshly showered and all that fun stuff. So we're ready for the day. And I have to get a couple boxes sent out and a couple packages sent out. So all of that said, I don't know when you'll see this video, to be fully honest. I have other videos to do. And like I said, I do need to get this out. I don't necessarily want this to be the first video in the lineup, because hopefully by the time you see this, I have shown you my progress on my scrap journey, I guess we'll call it. I haven't done the video yet, but like in my time, but I hope I have in yours. If not, I'm sure in past videos that have actually already been up, I have definitely talked about it. Which is, I'm not going to pull them out because they're under the boxes that I'm sending out. But I have bins of scraps I want and need to get rid of. I have scraps, like, I don't know how well you can see past, you probably can't see it. There's a shelf here in the other room. That shelf is like a bookshelf, DVD shelf, catch-all shelf, basically. And that has had some scraps on it for a while that, I don't know, I finished something and I went, I'll get to this, and I set it there, and then I never went back to it. Those, I'm happy to say, are not here anymore. They're part of the successful scrap project. But I won't get fully into where all I've been hiding the scraps. And what are you doing out there, wiggle butt? I won't get into where all I've been hiding the scraps around the house, or the fact that, you know, I won't show you the bins right now, like I said. But the point of this video, because I'm going to send it out, and I don't remember, I know I've shown you some things. I may have shown you most of this just over time, and I wanted to just show you what I managed to put together to send out. There would have been more, but remember when I got really sick? There's a deadline for me on sending this out. So, my friend Rose from Rose Likes Crochet, you guys all know Rose, she is doing, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Are your wiggles getting out of control? She is doing I keep calling it, I don't think these are her words, but I mean, it's a charity drive, right? So that's what I keep calling it. She is making and asking for donations to a group called the Generous Crafters, who are helping people in need in her Chicago area. She does, you know, suggest if you don't want to mail, or you can't mail, or whatever your situation is, that you generate, what is that word? That you donate locally. But I have tried looking. I don't have any place around here that really wants the donations that I can find, Maybe my search will continue, you know, but I also want to support my friends' charities. So that being said, make sure I'm not showing off my home address here. I have this box, which I'd hoped to have more full by now, but again, Rose is a no apologies channel. I am not. Not for myself. I always feel the need to apologize profusely when I don't feel like I've done enough. But this is what I'm sending. Anyway, that being said, a lot of these were like one-off skeins or scrap skeins at some point, or like when I've made a project. The reason why I think I may have shown you guys like here or there is because I feel like I've done some, like I'm looking at something right now where I've done a project and I was like, yeah, I just need to, you know, use up this scrap. So, you know, that's what I'm going to do, is make this. And I've shown you the little thing also, you know. So all of that said, I am going to pull stuff out and show you what I got, what's going off. Maybe it'll inspire somebody, or maybe we'll be inspired to use up our scraps. Whatever the case may be, maybe you'll see a color combo that you like. I don't know, but I'll show you my makes anyway. I don't show you enough crochet stuff, right? So here we go. So this one, I held 2 yarns together. The multicolor is all, like, the multicolor starts here. It's like a striping yarn that I've had for a really long time. I don't remember what it even came from. Maybe an old shawl that I did. And I held it with a mandala. This one I want to say was the color Harpy. And I had like a cake left of it. And you'll see it here and in another hat. But this one had predominantly gray left over, so it went through here. And then it wasn't like it, the rows that I do for these hats, which are just the, you know, the folded over brim hat, or you can wear it like this if you want just like a long slouchier hat. However you want to do, you do you. Is 40 stitches this way, and then it depends on the head. For mine, I have to make hats a little bit big on me to feel like they're regular sized. So for this to be a little bit big on me, my hats I do, I think 40 rows, and then I do for a 41st row, I do a continuous join down, and then I, you know, slip it together. I don't sew these. That's not happening in Heatherland if I can help it. You all know this. If you've been around, you know. So then, yeah, like I said, I just cinched the top, and here's the hat. And this right here wasn't, what I was explaining the count for was, this right here is, I don't remember what this is either, but it was a scrap of gray anyway. And I thought it fit with the theme pretty well. I really, really like this hat. Like, this kind of a Heather hat, I'm just saying, but I think somebody else will get some love and joy out of it. Because a lot of stuff, like, a lot of my scraps are Heather yarn. So, I mean, they're going to be Heather scraps, or Heather hats, or Heather whatever. But somebody else, you know, needs to get this love too, right? This is the very last thing, like, floppy skein that I had of the Hirschner's, I want to say it's called MVP yarn, and it was black and orange. I got this so long ago, and I made squares out of most of it to join with purple in a Halloween blanket that I have. But I used the last of it in this. It's the same style hat, I just didn't fold up this brim. There's a little bit, this skein had bothered me, and I think I'd kept it around so long because there's a tiny bit of like fading, but once I made the hat, I was like, you know what, it kind of just adds to the tigery look. So you know what, maybe somebody in Chicago can be sporting some Tigers colors if they got like a blue scarf, because I don't think I have one of those in here, like a blue anything. We'll see. I give away a lot of my blue yarn. A lot of my friends really, really like blue. Like, it's a good thing I'm not a blue girl, I guess. But anyway, there's the hat. And I don't have them in here, but the very, very last of this, I made 2 granny squares with, which hopefully I remember to stick in this box. If not, I mean, I do have a bunch of granny squares for a random blanket at some point, but hopefully I remember, because Rose is also accepting those. So I got 2 granny squares for her out of that. Are you just deciding to lay down here and chill? I know you guys can't really see him. I don't know if you can at all, but he's just like laying between the doorway to here and the other room. Now this hat is one that I made out of 2 different mandala scraps, one being that Harpy, and I want to say the other one, so the Harpy is like the light gray, and then over here the dark gray. And I think somewhere, yep, right here there's like a little bit of green. I think that's the Harpy also, I think. And then I want to say I mixed it with a scrap that I had left over for so many years that just sat with it. I found the 2 together, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold these together and just make a hat. So that happened, but I want to say the color was Wizard that went with it. But there is another style hat like that. This might be the last of this style, and these might be the newer things that I've shown you. We're getting into territory where I feel like I've shown off this stuff, but we'll see. I'll try to go through it kind of quick because I don't have a lot of time, and I got to get this box sent out. But this is a mandala ombre in the color Happy, and this is like almost to the dot all that I had left over from a blanket that I made. And so I made one of those kitty ear hats. So I thought, you know, maybe a young, like a teen or a kid, you know, I have a small head. This fits me pretty well. Maybe they would like it. So there we are with that. And then this was a Mary Maxim yarn, and this was a hat that I had gotten. I don't even remember the hat. I didn't love the pattern or anything. I don't think it was that bad. I just didn't love, I don't know, the finished stitch look. This could be a double crochet hat in my opinion with a brim, which I don't remember if I added or if that was I don't remember. Anyway, here it is. And I really, really like this yarn. I do have another skein, like a skein and a half left over or so. So I'm going to be using that in something coming up, but I'm adding that. And then we have a set here, which this is a Fiber Spider front and back post hat. And you're going to see a lot of this coming up. These are the ones I think I may have shown before. I made that same one into a, why did I almost say corset? I think I still have sick brain. I'm going to blame that. Oh my goodness. Maverick, what is this called? He's like, I don't know. It's a neck warmer. It's a... Scream it at me, guys. Why? Cowl. It's a cowl. But this was made with some Bitty Stripes yarn that I had left over. And it's a set. And then I have this cowl, which is made from, it's a funny story. It's made, and I made this before I started hoarding away this yarn. I want to say this is called Dragonfly, but I'm not positive. But it is a Charisma yarn, Loops and Threads Charisma. And it's all one color yarn. This isn't different scraps. It colors out like this. And I had made this, and I just decided, you know, somebody else should use it and get warm with it. But this is a long, like, cowl infinity scarf situation. And I actually was going to save this and reclaim the yarn because I'm hoarding up that yarn to make a blanket when I get enough of it. But I don't know. I just felt like, why do that when, like I said, it's already made and somebody can benefit from it. So we're going to donate it. So that is in the box. Now back to the Fiber Spider Hat Palooza. We have this purple and blue situation right here, which was an old clearanced out Hobby Lobby yarn. Same with this one, only this one was in green, like an army green almost, right? And then I had this scrap. This is an old scrap. This is one of the first yarns I ever had a scrap of that I had left over from one of my first knitting projects. I had made my then father-in-law, he was soon to be father-in-law, like had I stayed married to my ex-husband, this guy would be my father-in-law now because they were going to get married. Anyway, not the point of the story. The point of the story is that I've had this for that long. Since I got divorced, I've had this. And I didn't have enough of it to make a hat, so I added a band of Serenity Chunky in black. This is a super old skein of, it's like it was from Joann's. It was clearanced at the time, and it was a long, long time ago. Long, long time ago in a galaxy far away. You guys know that song? It was anti-pilling, but it was a 5-weight yarn. I can't remember what they called it, but it's like this interesting twist of different colors. And it's a 5-weight, so it's not like the party. And the party was way after this. Like, I don't remember the name of this, but it's big twist. And then this might be the last hat. It is. I used up the last of that Serenity that I had there. And then this is just a hometown. I have a little bit more of this left over for other stuff, but it's a bright, bright pink hometown yarn. Hometown? It's the Lion brand. It's Thick and Quick, I think, or Hometown Thick and Quick or something like that. I've had that for a really long time too, and I think its name is Fuchsia. So I mentioned that I also had the you know, the granny squares, because Rose is collecting those. And Rose, please forgive me if I don't end up adding those, just because I may forget by the time I'm very excited to get this box out to you. But she's also all year round until her charity ends or charity drive ends in October, I think. But she's collecting prayer squares, and I'm sure I've shown you these, but these were more like scrap busters. Now the size they're looking for, I think I was off by 1 inch, but I had made a comment to Rose and she said to send them anyway, so I am. They're looking for, there's all sorts of patterns on their website that Rose has linked in her videos. But they have a pattern that has like a bobble cross on it. They have a quilting pattern. They have a knitting pattern. And then they have a non-denominational crochet pattern, which is just, you know, it's just a blank square. But they're called prayer squares. And so I made... The last of these bitty stripes lasted quite a while. Like, that's like the top of this pile is bitty stripes. I'll let you know when that's finished. But it, you know, the stripe made a nice shift in color for these. So each one is a little bit rainbowy in its own way. Sorry, I'm just looking at the time and I know I need to hurry this, so there's a lot of the bitty stripe. All right, that's the end of the bitty stripes. And then this was the very end of there's a little bit left over a lot of times when you make the granny square yarn granny squares from Red Heart. So this is the end of my granny square, all-in-one granny square yarn, but I had to trim it in just a gray that I had in my scraps. But I thought that was really pretty. And then this, I held 2 yarns double. I held that fuchsia pink Caron 1 pound with a really lightweight, almost, I don't know if it's going to show from being blown out, but it's almost like an Eastery variegated color, but it's a really thin one. So I thought that looked pretty cool. And then the last 3 of these were a Colorscapes yarn that I had made some hats out of for a friend. And they were the scrap of it. So that is the end of those. So there's some, you know, rainbowy colors. There's some feminine colors. There's some masculine colors. Anyone really can use any color, in my opinion. But yeah, so that is the box. We're only a little bit away, you know. That is the box that I have for Rose. So all that said, if you want to check out her channel, if you haven't been over there in a while, you should check out what she is accepting. These are through the month of September. That's why I'm trying to hurry up and get them out. And then she, like I said, she is doing the month of October also with a different item, but also with the prayer squares and with the granny squares. So yeah, hopefully you find some inspiration here for your crafting. And on that note, I'm going to let you guys go so I can get these packed up. But I love you guys. Maverick loves you guys. Maverick has taken the cushion off my couch again. All right, I love you guys. Bye.